Good morning and welcome to Ruminations with Eli Love. And today's topic is about attitude. Now, if you've been listening to Eli for some time, you know that Eli has a quote that he goes along with, and it is, you tend to move toward what you dwell upon, whether positive or negative. You see, your thoughts and the things that you ruminate about are what you move toward. And if you want to put yourself in the right situation so that the right things will come into your life, then you must make sure you're ruminating about the correct stuff, if you're going to ruminate at all. And you also want to make sure that you're putting out a vibration and energy that you want to come back to you. So I started doing something a couple years ago as an experiment, and I kind of stopped actually doing this. But honestly, I've thought about it, and I think that I'm going to get back to it. And what it is what I call my magic question list. And the magic question is what you hear each day. Because if you're out anywhere of your house and you're around other people, you're going to hear it at least once or twice, many times, several times a day. And that magic question is, how are you today? How are you today? So how do you respond when you hear, how are you today? You know, I think a lot of people, and this is a point where we're all programmed, and it proves too kind of how our mind works and how we can feed our subconscious the right ideas so that we can program our brain to do more. So think about it. How are you today? A lot of people say, I'm good. How are you? Well, I'm fine. How are you? Or maybe they say something like, not bad. They're not good, but they're not bad. And so when I picked up on this, I decided one day, I'm going to be a human hacker. I'm going to hack the system, because that's the program, right? Everything happens in patterns and trends. Everything happens as small incremental changes that have built into what we call habits, which can be for better or for worse, which we can change at any time, right? To get ahead, we can just take a little bit each day if we want to change. And that's the easiest way to do it, is on a continuous basis, rather than trying to go too extreme and go to the max and then just try to change it and then it doesn't happen and you feel like you failed. So we can do a little bit each day. We can do a little bit each day to adjust our attitude. And one of the first steps in that process is to be aware. Now, we're programmed, I said. So how are you going to be aware? How are you going to know that, hey, I need to change my attitude here to this day? Well, one way that you can be aware of this is by using what I call my magic words to answer the magic question. You see, the magic words, we're going to put those up here right now. See those? We've got things such as fabulous, great, wonderful, fantastic, tremendous. Today is a tremendous day. Tremendous, and if you notice the number on the list, you see there that it says number 7, and number 7 is a tremendous day because on the 7th of the month, so let's say today is 7th of the month, which it is, then I am tremendous today. Don't you think if you go into work or you go somewhere else, you go up into a drive-thru, you go to a restaurant, you go to church, you go to some event that you typically do and people normally see you, or even if they don't see you, and you say, I'm tremendous, that it's going to affect people in one way or another? You see, what happened is I did this for 3 years. I carried this list, which is now electronic, in my back pocket, this crumpled up list. And in fact, 5 other people started carrying the same list based on seeing me carry the list. And I use that list because when people would ask me, they would come up and they would say, how are you today? And let's say it's the 12th of the month, and I would say, I'm amazing. And they'd be like, wow, I'm not that good. I wish I could be that good. I want some of what you're having. And I would say, well, I just have this magic word list. You know, I'm just trying to remind myself to be positive so that I can have a better day. And one of the great things about responding like that and vibrating in that manner with that type of energy is that a lot of times it comes back to me. Like attracts like, right? So what happens though, and this is where I fell off and where I need to start back today, actually, doing this in my life and changing it up again and not being afraid of the consequences, because there may be consequences and there may be results, and sometimes these results may be not what you initially like, but they're probably what's better for you. So let me give you an example. I work in the corporate world. I'm in a place for 15 years. I start using these techniques. What do I see? I see one of two things. I see one, people are like, wow, that's awesome. What the heck is up with this dude? I want some of what he's having. And then I start attracting people to me that were the type of people that had positive attitudes. They wanted more of what I was drinking. They wanted more of the Kool-Aid. They wanted more of whatever I was doing and what I was on. And all it was my positive words. And people changed it around, man. There's people one guy who he did a positive word of the day each week, right? So he had Tuesdays, he was terrific because he could remember it. Wednesdays, he was wonderful. And Thursdays, he was tremendous. And then Sundays, he was spectacular. And then on Saturdays, he was stupendous. Now, I know that rhymed and I didn't mean for it to, but that's actually probably a good little jingle. We may have to come up with something for that just for you. Number 9, Eli Love. Ruminations with Eli Love. But so the thing is, though, here's what I found. Some people didn't take so kindly to my positive responses. In fact, my boss, who I loved a lot, who I really cared about, said, look, Eli, it's not real, man. It's not real. Like every day you can't be doing so well. Of course, then I'd respond a lot of times to some people and I'd say, well, there's 2 words in there that I can use interchangeably. That's one is unbelievable, because unbelievable could be bad. It doesn't have to be good. And then 2 is incredible, because incredible actually means, which people take it positive, but incredible actually means not credible, not even something that you would be. And so, but when I say I'm incredible, people are like, wow, that's awesome. Or if they say, how's your day? How's business? It's unbelievable. People think that's awesome. So that's the type of thing that you can do with these words, is you're going to hack people. You're going to hack that program and people are going to wake up. Now, are they going to like take to it kindly, or are they not? And so I would say for the majority, most people do actually appreciate your being positive. They may or may not understand it, and they probably want more of it. Or if they don't and they go away and they treat you a certain way, you just have to be willing to accept that. And that's what I was not able to do, because I wasn't willing to accept it. It put me in a state of confusion. It put me in a state of fluctuation. I experienced stress. I experienced anxiety. And eventually I was no longer at that company because I didn't fit in, because I was so different. And I really was not that different. I was just a person trying to create a more positive environment for folks, something that's more conducive to people performing in a manner that is above and beyond and outstanding, and what you would want for any worker in your company. It's the same stuff they would teach in classes, the stuff that they need to teach more of in school. And that is all with my magic words. That is all with my magic question list. Now, here's where it's really made changes, and it was awesome, and I loved it, is the service industry. Someone that's programmed there all day long, whether they be a cashier, whether they be someone that's taking an order at a drive-thru or at a fast food restaurant or any other restaurant for that matter, or someone that's a server that's coming out to bring you your food. If you throw some of these magic words out at them, and I know great is not as a big one, but I did put it in there because great was just the second one I came up with. I used to be called Mr. Fabulous because I went around saying I was fabulous. But today I'm going to have a tremendous day, and I'm going to go around and I'm actually going to use that, and we're going to see how that does. And maybe I can come back on here and share that with you as to how that worked out. But the thing is, let me tell you, if you use this in the service industry, people change. In fact, I saw servers get more tips. I saw servers make more money because I shared with them this magic question and the magic word list. And they performed at a higher peak level because now they're vibrating at that point where like attracts like, and these are good things that are going to come to them. If you're vibrating at a level that's negative, if you're vibrating at a level where you don't believe, where you don't see yourself there, where you don't picture yourself doing what it is that you want, and that doesn't mean things are always great. That doesn't mean you're always just positive in everything, because it's hard to be that. But instead what you are is you're acknowledging the feeling and you're looking toward being good general forward progress, the GGFP, right, that we talk about. That is being a little bit better each day. And one way to do that is to change your attitude. That opens you up to experiences, that opens you up to things that you would not have received before. So let me tell you, if today you find that you're in a place where your attitude has been kind of crappy and you've been down, you're going to stay stuck in that rut if you stay down in it. You can only get out of that rut by starting to climb. So preparing to climb, and this is a part of that and a part of your strength training to get out of the hole, okay? What I want you to do today is just to try this. Just pick one word off the magic word list, and when someone asks you, how are you today? You don't have to do it just like me. You can if you want, but you don't have to. But what I want you to do is I want you to answer that question, the magic question, with, I am fantastic. I am wonderful. Every day is a holiday. that's one that, you know, at the bottom, we got to change them up and things. And I add new ones. People tell me about the list, and now I kind of change it since it's electronic. You can do what you want to with it. Another guy came up with his own list. He used things like bitchin', groovy, but it worked for him. And it was cool. He had his magic words that he responded to the magic question. So today, hope you're able to take this information to go out, lead a better life, to be more positive, to change lives, to spread love, and to ruminate about the right things. This is Ruminations with Eli Love. Catch you on the flip side.